Hey guys, up in the Nantahala National Forest today, out on some of the Forest Service roads I've been to before. Just kind of getting a nice little woods walk today. It's early-ish September, almost mid-September here in Appalachia. And thankfully, the weather has been gorgeous. It has been it's been windows open in the evening and at night and in the morning kind of weather, which is, for the South, not necessarily typical for September. So we've been blessed with this coming into fall weather, which has just been great. And that kind of rolls into today's video. Being out here, it's morning, still a little chilly in the shade. It's perfect getting out and about weather, if that makes sense. So that's today's video, the premise of today's video, which I'll go over. But first, the affiliates and sponsors of today's video are Brownells, Krushinki Co., Rucksock, and others. All the affiliate codes and discount codes available at my link tree in my bio on my Instagram, roadies_plaid. Thank you to all those companies for being able to provide gear, ammo, incentives, etc. to keep the page on Instagram and this channel going. So thank you to them, and let's get into the video. All right. So, talking about the weather, this is that kind of intermediate season between summer and into fall, where you're getting those cold temperatures right as the sun goes down in the evening, at night, and then in the early morning, there's still this chill. And if you're out and about and you're moving about, obviously particularly during the day, but if you're moving about and you're getting hot and sweaty and your kit's getting wet, your camis are getting wet, you're in that intermittent season period where at night that could be detrimental, becoming hypothermic because you are in summer-like conditions during the day, so you're sweating, your gear's getting wet, like I said, but then the minute the sun goes down and it starts chilling off, if you don't have dry kit, dry layers, or proper layering, you can be at risk for hypothermia, which is a crazy thought that, it's, mid-September and the highs during the day can be almost in the 80s, but at night, and it drops below 50, and you don't have the proper layering, and not just sleep equipment, but say you are needing to be out and about during the nighttime hours, you are at risk for hypothermia and cold-related. You're getting a cold. Say you're out for longer than a day, and you're not worried about hypothermia, but imagine getting a cold and being out and about in the cold, and having to be mobile with being sick, right? So the video today is going to go over just those type of layerings that help during this intermittent season where you don't want to be weighed down by a lot of cold weather gear, puff suits and jackets and stuff like that, because it's not necessary, because you're still trying to be mobile. You don't want to necessarily carry a ton of kit, but at the same time, especially if you're got a ruck and you're out for multiple days, you want to be able to dry off and not cool off, but you want to be able to dry off and keep the cool at bay, if that makes sense. So we're not talking about heavy, thick layers. We're also not talking about like toughing it out, because you can only tough it out so much before it affects you. It affects your health. It affects your survivability. So let's start talking about layers really quick. Going to go over a couple things that you can add to your kit, your ruck, your gear during this intermittent weather season that will help keep you warm and dry when the temperatures start to drop. It gets to that evening, that half hour as the sun starts going down, and you can feel it. Boom, you're going from 70s, boom, it's almost 55, 60, 55, and you're like, oh my god, it's chilly. I'm all sweaty and stuff. What do I have in my ruck that I can transition to keep me warm, that doesn't overweigh my gear, right? So let's get into the first bit of layering. Easy fleece, synthetic fleece, fleece items. Whether it's a quarter zip fleece, whether it's a grid fleece, I personally go with a vest and a watch cap. Like right about now, I always in my pack have what I call is my sleep kit, which is like a pair of silkies or a pair of like oversized synthetic boxers and a clean, dry cotton t-shirt, which is what I will change into to get into my sleeping bag. Because I don't want to get into my sleeping bag with my sweaty stuff if I don't have to and dirty up my sleeping bag. Also, the less clothing you wear in your sleeping bag, the warmer you stay. People don't understand that. Oh, layer up and sweats and all this in your sleeping bag. No, your sleeping bag works the best when you're damn near naked, right? When you're in your skivvies. And that's why I try to do like a pair of silkies, oversized synthetic boxers, help my shit dry out. Got a dry cotton t-shirt, comfortable, kind of help me breathe. Because if you are wearing camis or something potentially synthetic with a synthetic blend for the majority of the day, you want to let your skin breathe. You want to let your skin have a break from those plastics, right? That being said, warming layer wise, I'm a quarter zip, like the Marine Corps, that quarter zip, the Marine Corps issue quarter zip. The Army doesn't do that. They do the full zip, that funky, the fuzzy fleece. I'm a quarter zip fleece or a fleece vest kind of guy. Great because it keeps your core warm. That bit that got all sweaty during the day, it keeps your core warm. Whether you're changing and you're wearing something dry or if you're keeping that damp camis on once it starts getting cold, you can have this on and it will keep you warm. And synthetic fleece dries very quickly. So it'll get wet from your sweat, but it will be drying as you're hot. The heat, your body heat will be drying this, which is great. Fleece watch cap. These two paired together, for me, because I do run hot, and it's not because I'm fat, it's because for the last 25 years, I run hot. I don't need layers until it gets below freezing, really. Like, I can wear a set of camis in 40 degrees and be fine, and then be sweating, and still be fine, and then just put this on, and I'm fine. So once it gets below freezing for me, that it's an issue. Fleece watch cap, fleece quarter zip, or this. And I mean, you can shove this in the top of your ruck, and that's it. Like loaf of bread size, less than. Look at that, right? So that's the first thing, synthetic fleece. The next thing would be something like, now this is a cotton blend Henley type long john shirt. You see the pattern, the cotton blend Henley long john type shirt, and then this is a synthetic blend. What are the military? With silks. Now they're not silkies; it's a synthetic blend. And actually, I think this is synthetic and wool. I got these. The reason these are white is these are my winter time. But these, I mean, if you're not talking like super duper tactical, these are something you bring this, and there's your layers that you can either put under your camis. Just wear these in your sleep system. Obviously, it's up to you. But these are, yet again, something light. Whether you bring the full set, top and bottom, right? Whether you bring the full set, and you're looking at that much extra room in your ruck and weight, they're very lightweight, or one or the other. Because like me, I run hot, right? So I don't necessarily need something on my bottoms. I just need something to keep my core warm, keep that area where I've been fucking sweating all day warm. That's why I do the fleece. Some people they have smaller legs, they may get colder quicker. Their legs may get cold, their knees cold. You know, it's all personal preference, right? But that's the next thing, is a lightweight cotton type. Cotton kills when it's wet. That's the caveat to it. Cotton kills when it's wet. Cotton isn't the end all be all, like you can't use cotton because it kills. It only kills when it's wet. So and not sweat. If you've been sweating and you change into a dry cotton dry cotton shirt, this or a t-shirt, and you're not sweating anymore, and you're drying out, and you've changed into it because you're wet and you want to be dry, cotton's not going to fucking kill. Cotton's the most comfortable and cotton's the most useful fabric for clothing. It only kills when it's wet. Doesn't kill in the winter. Don't sweat, right? Like you don't sweat in the winter as much. You can if you overexert yourself, but you don't. So you don't have to worry about cotton kills. Cotton kills. It does in certain then that's like in a survival scenario. But if you're moving around and you're wearing a cotton t-shirt under your camis and it gets chilly, it's not going to fucking kill you. Cotton does kill, but in very certain, not environments, in very specific scenarios and situations, right? Cotton Henley type knit, like for long johns, synthetic blend knit, long johns, lightweight, easy to carry around, right? Then something that you can pair with anything, a schmog, cotton knit. It's loose knit, which makes it breathable. You see kind of through it. Throw it around your neck, throw it around your head. I mean, you can throw it over your shoulder like a old lady shawl if you wanted to. This, you can use as a pillow. 101 uses. This paired with like what I bring, the fleece vest and the fleece watch cap, I'm set until it's below freezing. For me, personally, I am. Dry pair of socks and that dry sleep kit I talked about. Something like this. Lightweight, easy, doesn't add much weight to your kit. And the final layering that is, it's not heavy, but it's the most thermoregulating, meaning it is the warmest, is a wooby. Some form of wooby. Zip up, pull over, a jacket, but I wouldn't consider it a jacket, but it's full synthetic. It is that wooby pattern. It is nylon and polyester. And these get down really small and they're light, but they're the most, is that thermoregulating? Would that be the terminology? Where it keeps you the warmest, no matter what. The problem with this is, if you know it's going to be warm, with all of these, you don't want to keep them on during your movement, during the day. It's cold in the morning and you're up and you're getting ready to move around, take your layers off. Put them cold, clammy, damp camis and kit back on, because you're just going to get hot and sweaty throughout the day. That kind of goes back and forth to the old wet kit, dry kit adage for like for jungle warfare, where your dry kit is what you sleep in. And you literally have your bivouac set up. You're about to get into your hammock, your bivouac. You strip down, you get your wet camis, your wet kit off, put it on top of your bivouac, hang it on a piece of paracord next to you, with wet, put your dry kit on, get in your sleeping area, go to sleep. And the first thing you do in the morning, take your dry kit off, get it back in that triple dry bag, put your wet kit back on. So that's the same kind of adage here, where you want to keep these warming layers as dry as possible all the time, because that's kind of the point. We're getting hot and sweaty and wet during the day, 80s, 85, and then at night it's getting to 50, below 50, and we're kind of worried, like, okay, that's where hypothermia can start. So I want to try and keep your intermediate warming layers as dry as possible for as long as possible, because that is the whole point, is to keep you warm after you've been hot and wet all day. So, little food for thought, things to think about. I'm transitioning into this after years of in the desert, not having to worry about it, learning about it last fall, learning about it this fall, particularly with this transition now in this September, where it's gotten cold and it has stayed colder at night. So there you go. That's it. Just kind of intermediate seasonal considerations for your warming layers. So there you go. All right. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good one. Stay warm.